looking at, so obviously Focus,
We know that
but
one.
I've talked about them ad infinitum since I started being on this podcast, so I've bin them off. Golden Earring, who were the first band I ever saw live. Epica, who are one of the kind of symphonic metal bands. Simone Simmons as the lead singer. But I've gone with Within Temptation, who are my other favourite Dutch band. They were formed in 1996 by Sharon Den Adel and Robert Westerholt, or Westerholt, I assume, being Dutch. And they're symphonic metal. They're a bit gothy. They're a mixture of that kind of stuff. Their 1997 debut album was called Enter, and that made them quite prominent in the Dutch underground music scene. So they've picked up quite a following within Holland with that first album. But 2001 was their first break into general public awareness with a single called Ice Queen, which came from the second album, which was called Mother Earth. And Ice Queen and the album won a whole stack of awards in Holland. They have a lot of singing contests in Holland. Das Bastzangers, for example. But I mean, it wasn't that. But so they have a lot. And basically, Within Temptation won the same award all 5 years running. And at the end of which they just stopped the award because they were the only ones who were ever winning it, which I thought was quite amusing. The album, which was their big commercial breakthrough, was March 2011, an album called The Unforgiving. And it's a really interesting, I just bought a copy fairly recently. I bought it for myself for my birthday. And it's really interesting because it's called a transmedia album, because it's an album and a series of short films and a comic book telling a story. And it's really clever. There was a single off it. Well, there were two singles off it. One, Faster, which you've played on your show before, which was played very, very heavily on Planet Rock, which was kind of when I kind of got interested in them because that got a lot of airplay. And then the follow-up single, Sinead, which is also on that album, which you've also played. There was a third single called Shot in the Dark, which didn't do as much. And then after that, they did another album in 2014 called Hydra, and they were joined in that by Tarja Turunen, who was with Nightwish, for a single called Paradise, What About Us, which charted. I don't know where it got in the charts, but that was another one which was a very, very successful single. Most recently, they have done a single with a Ukrainian producer, which they filmed in Kyiv as a charity single to support the Ukrainian military and the fight against the orcs. She's got a great voice. They're really good musicians. The guitarist Westerholt is a terrific guitarist. They're good songwriters. It's quite big production, of course it is, because it's symphonic rock. But it's more stripped down than Epica and Nightwish, and I really like them. I think they write good sing-along songs of that genre. And I just thought it was more interesting to pick them rather than Focus, which was the obvious one. So Within Temptation.
Okay. I'm just looking at their records, their single-wise, which is probably what would alert me to anything. They haven't had any hits in the UK single-wise.
They've had hits in the rock charts, just not in
maybe
the.
So. Yeah, maybe so. Yeah, I mean, okay. Maybe a rock, a symphonic rock singles chart or something, perhaps.
Yeah.
Albums. They've had a few.
Yeah, The Unforgiving, Hydra.
There's a live album that was
the live album was a big seller.
Okay. So Within Temptation or Stinky Pete. Jeff, what do you got?
Going to go Italian. Talking Italian now.
Italian.
Founder of Oasis Records and Musicland Studios. Film scores to this guy's name include Midnight Express and American Gigolo. Harold Faltermeyer was his protege. He has 15 albums to his name, plus all to his own name, plus all his collaborations with other people. He's dubbed the father of disco.
Is it?
In case you want to know, "Son of My Father" by Chicory Tip
Yes,
was
we know who it
actually
is
this
now.
guy.
Then. Yeah, he wrote it's his first. So he wrote it, didn't he? And it's the first
Yes.
first number one using a Moog synthesizer prominently.
It was indeed.
In,
And I thought that was Tangerine Dream, but there you go.
yeah, a
Yeah,
little
well,
bit
they
more
didn't have
catchy than
another.
that.
They didn't have another one single, and
Right.
nor did ELP, who both used them earlier. Are we talking Ennio Morricone?
No,
No.
we're talking Giorgio Moroder.
Oh, Giorgio. Sorry, I meant
That's probably
Giorgio
what you
Moroder.
meant.
Yeah, I meant.
His big stuff was with that people know was with Donna Summer,
Yeah.
obviously. But he worked with Bowie, he worked with Falco, he worked with Kylie, he worked with Blondie, he worked with Irene Cara, Phil Oakey. Obviously, he did the thing for Never Ending Story with Phil Oakey, if you remember.
Oh no, no. Electric Dreams was the film. I think,
Electric
wasn't
Dreams.
it?
Sorry, that's
Together in
Electric
Electric
Dreams,
Dreams. Yeah.
Yeah,
Great song.
And
Love
Janet
that one.
Jackson.
Great song, terrible film.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
So how often can you say that? I always
But,
say that about Xanadu as well. Actually, great. I love the song, but the film.
The film was awful, and it had Olivia Newton-John in it, and it should have been brilliant because
It should have been. Yeah.
It was awful. Anyway, Giorgio Moroder, I think his place in that style of music is cemented.
Absolutely.
He's up there as I think it's fair to that being dubbed the father of disco is probably not unreal.
No.
Well, it's not, and it's interesting that that's in the same way as Tangerine Dream were the fathers of electronica. I think that he has his place in exactly the same way. I mean, he was brilliant. I mean, I'd forgotten about him completely, but no, good shout.
He still is. He's not dead yet.
No, he's very much not dead.
Midnight Express was such a good film.
Oh, I loved it. Absolutely brilliant.
And the theme was great as well.
What was?
The theme.
Yeah,
the Midnight Express theme. I love it.
I saw it. I went to see it in the cinema, and it was one of them edge of your seat things where you're going, "What's going on here? How's this going to end?" The great.
But it was quite sort of uplifting, wasn't it? In the end,
it was.
No spoilers. I mean, it's 1979, probably 1978. I mean, when is a spoiler not a spoiler? 50 years later,
when the whole world's seen it already.
Yes, the whole world. It's difficult to know when the whole world has seen it. No, I'm slipping back to now. I'm assuming I'm not taking a liberty here because it's not the UK.
You're going Sinead O'Connor, aren't you?
I'm not going Sinead O'Connor. Although she's on a list of many names, I'm going for the Boomtown Rats.
Good shout.
From Dublin.
It's a fair city.
Yes, Dublin's fair city.
The girls are so pretty.
Indeed. At the forefront, I would say, of the new wave sound rather than the punk sound, which I think we can establish is different. They had great, apart from Bob Geldof, who could write a tune, write the lyrics. Some great musicians. Johnny Fingers on keyboards, Jerry Cott on rhythm guitar, Gary Roberts on lead guitar, and Johnny Fingers' cousin, I think it was, Pete Briquette, on bass, Simon Crowe on drums. And I mean, sadly, their fame and notability has been a little bit overshadowed by Bob Geldof's charity work, I guess. But they had some stellar albums in the early days. They had an album come out, a new one come out a couple of years back, actually, which I've got somewhere. But the ones that matter for me, and they had two singles in '77. They had Looking After Number One, which was a number 11 hit, Mary of the Fourth Form, which was a number 15 hit, and the album got to number 18. But A Tonic for the Troops, I played it on the show I think it was yesterday.
Yeah, it was yesterday. I really enjoyed it.
Tonic for the Troops, I think, is a superb album. We had three Singles in 78, She's So Modern, Like Clockwork, and of course Rat Trap, which was and still stands, and it holds its place in the pop rock music history as the first new wave artist to have a #1 single in 78. And then, of course, the following year, a Fine Art Surfacing, which produced I Don't Like Mondays, another big #1, and Someone's Looking at You and Diamond Smiles, which followed it up. Sadly, it only made number 13 in the chart. I think maybe due to a strike on Top of the Pops, which is, those not in the know, was quite a popular show in the UK. Not anymore. All sorts of shenanigans are going on by all accounts, which we won't go into. But yeah, if you didn't have that, and there was a strike by lighting technicians, so they never got on. So maybe that explained why it wasn't. And Diamond Smiles, but talking about death again, like I Don't Like Mondays. So maybe they could have left death off the table for a little while. But yeah, Boomtown Rats I love from Dublin's fair city, and that's my one, and that's as quick as I can be on that one. Pete,
I made a decision that the Republic of Ireland was too close to Great Britain for comfort, so I ignored all of them.
There's a great political movement about that.
Yeah, I'm conscious of this, and probably I'll now be shot by a member of Sinn Féin walking down the street. But having been mistaken for Gerry Adams in an Edinburgh pub on one occasion, then hell to hell with it. Anyway, so I ignored the Irish. Just give them Ireland back. So I'm now going to go with Italy, because my brother went with Italy, and I'm going to go with the other Italian band, which is, and I'll just make sure that I pronounce it properly, Premiata Forneria Marconi, or as they are more known, PFM. Who?
For you, okay?
You what?
That's not what I had down for you. Yep.
They were formed in Milan in 1970. They are the Italian prog rock band, and so successful are they that they still continue. They were the very first internationally successful Italian group.
Are they still progressing?
Sorry?
Are they still progressing?
Yes, they are very much still progressing. They did 5 English lyric albums between 1973 and 1977. And what I like about them, and I always liked about them, I listened to them when I was at university, because one of my mates at uni had a couple of their albums, and I thought I really like these guys, but I just never got around to buying anything. I've got a couple now, which Gordon's got for. And I've bought one in a record fair somewhere, and Gordon got a live album for me. But they're kind of a mixture of symphonic, classical, and traditional Italian, but done in a rock music context. So they were really, really innovative. They are referred to by the music press as quote unquote one of progressive music's most important bands. In 1972, they did an album called Storia di un Minuto, which, for those of you that did Latin or Italian, is a story in a minute. But they were touring, but they were on tour in Italy, and so were Emerson, Lake and Palmer. And Greg Lake saw them, was really impressed, and he arranged for them to sign for ELP's label, which was Manticore. And so all of the stuff, like the English language albums, so the ones from 73 to 77, they were all released on Manticore. I think probably their best album, and the one that I've got, is 1974, The World Became the World. But then there's an absolutely brilliant live album, which was also released in 1974, which was recorded live in America. But it's called PFM Cook. So it's, this idea of them cooking when they play live. They're really, really, really underrated. For me, they are up there with Camel and Caravan and Yes and Genesis and all the big successful prog bands. Quite understated, clearly very, very good technical musicians. And I just think it's interesting that when you take the subgenre of music, then actually you've got Focus in Holland, you've got these guys, as well as prog is seen to be very English, but actually they very much are part of the prog pantheon. So Premiata Fornaria Marconi.
Can I say this? I have never heard of them in my life.
Well, you are going to.
Can I say this? So far, I've heard of Focus and I've heard of Golden Earring.
Okay.
I think I know Europe. My apologies.
I was going to say, if you haven't heard of Europe, you've been living in a box.
The rest, you've lost me. Which is quite interesting because obviously you're looking into a different musical world than one that I live in, which is great because you live there and that's fine.
He's done 6 hours research. That's what it is.
Tangerine Dream.
Oh yeah. I do my best to forget about
and I mentioned Scorpions, so you
know what I'm saying.
Yes, I know what you're saying.
Great, but it's clear that there is music of all sorts going on in all sorts of places, which is good, is it not?
Yeah, it is good.
I think so.
And hopefully I'll be playing some then, won't I? No doubt I will be.
Yeah, I suspect you won't be playing any of the ones I'm about to pick.
All right, go on then.
You might. Okay, I'm doing this relatively unashamedly. We have already mentioned this band. But any band that sells over 100 million records has to be worth debating at least.
Yeah.
So
let's have a mass debate then.
Huh?
Let's have a mass debate then.
No, we're not going to be on the bloody BBC. Pull yourself together. You can't talk about masturbation.
You can't put yourself together till afterwards. Anyway, back in the mid-70s, just to be appropriate with this conversation, German reggae, funk, disco, created by Frank Farian, who later gave us Milli Vanilli. 2 UK number one. This is Boney M. 2 UK number ones: Rivers of Babylon, Mary's Boy Child. 8 number ones in Germany. Actually, all of the members originally came from the Caribbean, but they did all live in Germany at the time. They are deemed a German band. Perhaps the initiators of Europop. 8 albums, would you believe? 8 albums they did. Rasputin, It's Holly Holiday, Brown Girl Up Your Bum, and all that. Mar Baker, all.
I'm sorry, you've just got to turn up from the BBC again.
Love them or hate them, they hold a place in pop history.
Absolutely, they do.
And 100 million sales is nothing to be shunned.
No, it really isn't. I mean,
people like them.
Yeah, and I mean, bands like AC/DC have done 110, 120 million. So actually, that really puts it into perspective. That is a huge number of album sales.
It's massive.
It is. And Ra Ra Rasputin is just about tolerable.
Oh, my word.
In fact, I'd go as far as to say that if it was on in some kind of wedding thing, I might even not leave the room. So,
praise indeed for Boney M and Frank Farian. Yeah, I don't. Again, it's what I like bits from everyone, and I don't mind a bit of Boney M. I wouldn't immediately rush out to listen to it, but as you mentioned, the songs there, Rasputin. I quite like Brown Girl in the Ring. Actually, I don't mind that.
Well, I see, that's the one that I can live without. Daddy Cool's hilarious.
Daddy Cool, yeah.
Rivers of Babylon is a great single. It is just top notch. Now, whether you like it or not, it does the job.
We've had that a lot tonight, haven't we? Whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
Is it true then that the guy didn't do any of the performing on it? Am I up the
He
wrong
did
path there?
originally, and then there was a big falling out, and then he stopped, and they got someone else in to pretend to be him, and then they came back, and it all got a bit Milli Vanilli on it.
Oh no, okay.
Didn't
I
he
did mention
wear
that earlier on.
didn't he have an extraordinary array of clothing in his wardrobe?
Well, certainly on one of the videos, he had very, very little clothing on one of them, which was a bit disturbing.
Which is kind of my point.
Yes.
Yes. It wasn't big and it wasn't clever.
Well, it might have been big, but
It wasn't clever. Oh, damn, and there goes the damn BBC again. Oh, we are in so much trouble. Thank you, Boney M.
We are in trouble, definitely.
There we go. Boney M. I give you Boney M.
Thanks for that. Thanks for that. Well, we'll
she's
continue.
She's a lovely girl.
All right. Okay, let's move on. I'm going to head back. Oh, this will be quick as well. Since I did do Ireland, and we're not getting shot by anyone from the Sinn Féin part of the political scene. Spectrum, that's the word I'm looking for. Now, Spectrum. That was in Joe 90, wasn't it?
I was just going to say.
Jerry Anderson.
We're back in
the Angels.
The
Angels.
Captain 90, the Mysterons.
Yeah.
Oh, Spectrum was in. Yeah. That was. Yeah. Captain Scarlet.
Oh, Captain Scarlet. That was sorry. Yeah.
I never knew that was Scarlet.
Yeah.
There you have it. Captain Black as well, wasn't he?
Captain Black. Can you say that now?
This is the voice of the Mysterons. Yeah, why was the baddie the black one? Yeah, it's true. It started things on the wrong path, didn't it?
That's the sentence for you.
Okay, I'm going to go for it. You
but
two.
It would sound really weird if you said Captain Mixed Heritage, wouldn't you?
You would.
Did you say you two?
I did say you two. It's got to be said.
If we're doing Ireland, for you.
If we're doing Ireland, and I know you're not a great fan of you two, but you are. Yeah, you are. Okay, fair enough. I mean, I think I could say they haven't really changed. They have, in a way, their styles sort of changed over the years, but still maintaining the same sort of, how would you put it, the sort of anthemic sort of quality of based around the edges.
Arpeggios.
Chiming guitar effects based guitar sounds as well, and of course on Bono's lyrics. Live Aid, they really kicked. I mean, they were big before, obviously. In fact, they sang songs from before Live Aid. At Live Aid, funny enough, they couldn't do songs from after Live Aid, to be fair. But Live Aid was the one that really took them to the globe. And then the Joshua Tree came out, and they went absolutely global. And there's not a lot else you can say about U2, because someone else will say they're crap. In fact, a lot of people say they.
This is why we need to do a show about the bands that everyone says are crap but aren't.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. We could do a U2 show, actually. Maybe we could do one next week. I know Jeff's not about and he wouldn't be able to chime in with a, that's crap.
Interesting snippet I heard this week. I was listening to Wyatt's show on Planet Rock, and they did a little thing about the Ozzy Osbourne charity thing that happened at Villa Park just before Ozzy died.
Yes.
That single gig raised 3 times as much money as Live Aid did with 2 gigs with stellar lineups in 2 different countries.
Inflation.
You what?
Inflation.
That was 50 years ago, to be fair.
Like inflation's huge over that time.
40 years ago.
Right, okay. Anyway, I just thought it was interesting. I'll shut up.
It was interesting.
Right, moving on.
I was sulking now.
No, it's fine. Inflation clearly had something to do with it, but I doubt that it was 3 times. But anyway, there we go. Is it me?
Yes, you, Pete. Go on.
Right, okay. So we're going to go to Greece.
Aphrodite's Child.
Because it's the word. And
this is the word.
And we're going to go with Nana Muscuri. No, we're not.
No, we're not. Please, we're not.
Nana Muscuri, I think if you're talking about a Greek musician, you've got to talk Nana Muscuri, because nobody in the world has ever been that successful with those terrible glasses, except for Dame Edna Everage. And I think that there is a link between those two. Anyway, moving on.
I don't like either, actually.
No, I can't stand either of them. But anyway,
you didn't mention James Last, thankfully, in the German bit.
No, I didn't mention.
Maybe
James
that's one
Last.
that Jeff's got lined up. But no.
But I'm going to talk about him next time I go to the Keith Moon's bar in Chipping Norton with Ralph, and we end up bumping into the guy that produced him. But anyway, there we go.
So we are talking Aphrodite's Child, are we?
We're talking Aphrodite's Child. So Demi Roussos, not to be confused with Demi John, and Evangelos Papathanasion, or as he is better known, Vangelis, Lucas Siderus, and Silver, which is a great first name. Fancy being called Silver. Silver Koulouris. Now, the story with Aphrodite's Child is that they only did 3 albums, and they split after album number 3 due to, quote unquote, Vangelis's ambition. Because basically, Demi Roussos, by the time they got to the album which they are known for, which is 666, which is a musical adaptation of the Book of Revelation, by the time they got, and you know, that album is a very, very ambitious double album, but it's basically a Vangelis project with them as bit part players. And Roussos, his solo career was taking off. He'd produced his first solo album. He'd had solo hits off it, and the other 2 wanted to continue down the route, which is where they started with albums 1 and 2, where they were basically a very successful pop band in Greece in the late 60s. But obviously Vangelis, who then went on to do John and Vangelis and all the stuff that he did, and the kind of electronic music and the kind of prog stuff that he did. So the whole thing fell apart. But which I think is sad, because when you listen to 666, it is such a good album. It's so well crafted. I mean, you know, it's got a story. Yeah, no shit, it's the Book of Revelation. But it's very well done. I mean, clearly it's a concept album. It was released at a period where concept albums were the thing. You know, Tommy was just coming. I can't remember whether it was pre or post Tommy, but you've got kind of all of that stuff at much the same kind of time. You've got all the kind of concept albums, the early ELP stuff. So it was very much of its era. But I think if you take it as a standalone piece of work, I think it's a prog rock classic, absolutely, which I don't own, but I will get a copy of come hell or waters high. See what I did there. So Aphrodite's Child, 666.
Okay.
Have you seen Vangelis's fingers? They're like this. They're tiny and they're really fat. So how on earth you play the black notes, I do not know.
That's because he's Greek.
Weird.
So like stumpy little fingers, you mean, or
stumpy little fingers? Stumpy stuff, like really stumpy little fingers.
Seen Elton's fingers? They're quite stumpy little fingers. Well, I don't know how he manages to do it.
Weird, isn't it?
I know. It shouldn't be allowed. Right, Jeff, go on then.
Okay.
We'll have to whiz through these, won't we? We've
right. We've got 40 minutes yet.
I'm in Germany. Again.
You're in Germany. James Last.
Formed in 1981. They had 3 albums, none of which I care about. Genuinely. They are a pop rock band, new wave, which I don't care about. They had 1 UK number 1 which is in my top 20 songs, which I do care about because I absolutely love it. They were formed in West Berlin, and the first album they produced is self-titled because that's what
pop
happened to the
music?
first album. And yet,
Rock instead.
it's the second album that the lead singer produced, whose name it actually takes after. We can do this. We know the answers to this. They are one-hit wonders in this country.
I would stab.
Go on.
Did you say when they started?
1981.
Oh, 1981. It's not who I thought it was.
The number one hit was in 1984. The lead singer's name is Gabriel Kerner.
Berlin.
No.
That
nearly
would have
took
been
my breath away.
86. Yeah, very good.
She made a big stir on top of the pops because she hadn't shaved her armpits.
Oh, yes. Nena.
Nena.
99 Luftballon.
99 Red Balloons.
Or as it originally came out, of course.
Great song.
99 Luftballon.
Luftballon. That's what I just said.
Yes, you did.
I've never been very good at lingo.
Interesting factoid. That was the song that was number one when my daughter Elizabeth was born.
Well,
so
there we are.
When I did the 1984 playlist for her on her 30th birthday, that was one of the songs.
Well,
Blue Balloons would have been a better idea.
I fully do not understand. I really like it.
No, I agree with you. I love it.
It's one of those songs that whenever it comes on, I do literally stop what I'm doing unless I'm driving because that would be dangerous. But I would turn it up. I will listen, and I don't really know why. But
I'm exactly the same, Jeff. I think it's a wonderful song. I really, really like it. I couldn't tell you anything else they've done.
No,
but
me neither.
It's atmospheric. It's just a brilliant pop song. Love it.
She is still performing. In case anybody cares, I don't know whether she shaved her armpits yet or not. Because if she hasn't, they're down here somewhere.
Oh.
That's going to put Pete off listening to the record now.
Oh, for heaven's sake!
I've got a feeling, I bought the follow-up single to that, which for the life of me I can't remember. Something like "Just Like a Dream" or something. I think it was called.
Sounds awful.
Well, it wasn't 99 Red Balloons. Let's put it that way.
Nothing else is.
I'm going to look that up.
I offer you Nena.
Nena. It was called "Just a Dream." It was. I was close. Just a Dream, and it
as
peaked
opposed to Diamond Dreams.
Peaked at number 70. So technically not a one-hit wonder, but yeah, I know what you mean. Now, when you started talking about one-hit wonder, and for some reason I was going Mick DeVille, but I said they're not European, are they?
No, he's very much American. Very much American.
Oh, Willie.
Oh, Willie.
Not on the BBC again.
He's an ex-Willie.
He is an ex-Willie. A Willie deceased. Okay, should we stick in Ireland?
Yes.
It's no one else has done any Irish ones. I'm going to go.
Clanad.
This is who?
Clanad.
No, it's not Clanad, but they maybe could get a mention.
Yeah, I just mentioned them.
As could Enya. Maybe.
There's a great Australian comedian where he talks about Enya and he says, he says, I like Slayer, and so he goes, so there are all these death metal bands, and he goes, and Enya. He goes, how can you not like Enya? Not liking Enya is like not liking a waterfall. I just thought, what a damning indictment.
Excellent. Well, I haven't gone for Enya, that well-known thrash metal band. I've gone for an artist. I mean, who I'm going to say, actually. Stinks you will anyway, I'm sure. I think, apart from Hello, Status Quo, which I got in 73, bit of Mungo Jerry as well. This is one of the first albums I remember owning and going out. I think maybe I was given it. I don't remember going out to buy it when I was 12. From Ireland, from Waterford, in fact, in Ireland. Piano player, singer-songwriter.
Is it crystal clear? See
Um,
what I did there from Waterford?
yeah, very good.
Jeffrey. I'm impressed.
You're both overshadowing any of my little puns today. I've given up.
Our punning is exemplary today.
It
We are
is,
right
yeah,
up there.
top notch.
It
No,
is
I'm
top
talking.
notch.
I'm talking Gilbert O'Sullivan,
Oh, of course you are.
Raymond,
Oh, Claire.
who, yeah, well, he's Irish, born in Waterford, as I said, which, as Jeff said, I thought I was crystal clear about that. Emigrated to England when he was 7, and in Swindon, where he settled, he began playing the piano, playing by ear, because he thought music was, reading music was pretty boring. So many. Originally played drums. I didn't know this, actually. I was checking this out. He originally was playing drums in a band called Rick's Blues, which was Rick Davis of Supertramp.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Good Lord.
And Rick Davis taught him how to play the piano and the drums. He really nurtured him in that respect. So, in fact, his drumming style, as he's made a point of saying himself, is sort of in his drumming sort of informed his style of piano playing in a way, in that it had a distinctive percussive piano pattern. As Gilbert O'Sullivan said himself, my left hand is hitting the hi-hat and my right hand is the snare. And yeah, he started writing songs, influenced by the Beatles as writers and Bob Dylan as performers. And his first hit was Nothing Rhymed. It wasn't his first single, but it was his first hit. Number 5 it was in the UK in October 70. His first album was himself. He went on to have a bunch of other top 10 singles: No Matter How I Try, Alone Again Naturally, Claire, which is number 1, Get Down, which is number 1, Why Oh Why Oh Why, and of course the infamous Ooh Wackadoo Wackaday, which I've always loved. We do love that one. And the album was Back to Front that I had. He started both. Jeff likes Ooh Wackadoo Wackaday.
He's gone. It's all over.
He's gone.
But the man, the myth, the legend has just gone.
He had an intro and an outro to both of his first 2 albums, which is interesting. Like at the end of the first side, he said, "Like, please turn over." A bit like Jeff Lynne did on Mr. Blue Sky at the end of side 3, when he says, "Please turn me over" to side 4.
And a bit like the Tubes
everyone
do
thinks the same,
in
Mr.
the
Blue Sky.
a bit like the Tubes do in the completion backwards principle. Which
it could be. I'm not overly familiar with that though. But yeah, he had an eye-catching image initially, which apparently was based on his love for silent film. That inspired the look with his bowl cut, cloth cap and short trousers. And he had such and I love this about his songs, sort of an observational, conversational sort of song style about him. And I thought they were nice songs. And it goes down in history as one of him. It just brings back memories of the early 70s. Gilbert O'Sullivan, for me, another Irish one.
Okay,
Pete.
Right. I'm not going to talk about the Norwegian band because I'm assuming that someone else will. So I'm going to go back to Sweden. So I've done Europe. You've done ABBA and Roxette. There's 3 other big there's loads of Swedish bands, but there's 3 other big ones. There's Sabaton and Opeth. You've played an Opeth
track. Yeah, I played them. And the one you've gone for is Ghost.
Ghost, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Ghost was the last live gig that I went to with my son Simon. And we popped into Jeff's and Julie's for comestibles before we went. Formed in 2006 in Linköping in Sweden. What I like about Ghost is that they got international recognition straight out of the gate with their debut album, Opus Eponymous, in 2010. The lead singer, Tobias Forge, he very much credits London with being where Ghost started. You know, they come from Sweden, but their big boost came from London. They played the Roundhouse in Camden, and that he kind of sees that as their home. You know, that's where it all started for them. They 2013 they had an album Infinitussimen. 2015 Meliora, that was a #1 in Sweden, #8 in the US. 28 Prequel, 2022 Impera, and then 2025 Skeletor, which was the tour that Simon and I went to see. He only was revealed as the lead singer in 2017. So from 2006 right the way through to 2017, they didn't know who he was, because he always dresses up in this kind of weird papal, vaguely satanic kind of. It's all a bit of a mick take. The rest of the band are referred to as the Nameless Ghouls, so they all wear masks and you don't know who they are, and that's kind of all part of the theatre. And what I like about them is that they're very theatrical. So when you see them live, there's a lot of theatre, there's a lot of performance. You know, you go to the performance and the music is part of the performance. But they play kind of, some of it's metal, but some of it's real arena rock. And they write songs that you can sing along to, which a lot of these bands don't. But if you take things like Spillways and you take things like Hunter's Moon, and the ones that you've played regularly, I had one of the albums, was my album of the day, wasn't it, on Monday? They're all sing-along songs. They've had a whole stack of singles. Call Me Little Sunshine, that's a really good singer-along. He Is, which is off one of the early albums. Rats, Darkness at the Heart of My Love, Hunter's Moon, Spillways, Respite on the Spitalfields. If You Have Ghosts, which is one of the early ones, Watcher in the Sky. Spillways has got Joe Elliott from Def Leppard singing on it with them. They're just a really good band live, and they just write really good songs. And I think they are going to go down in history. You know, long after other people's stuff has stopped being played, I think people will keep playing Ghost. They've got an absolutely fanatical fan base. Everybody dresses up. So when we went to the gig, there was all these people in, you know, kind of bishops' mitres and all this kind of cod religious thing. That just the whole thing is very theatrical, and I think that they've just produced tremendous albums, all of which are very listenable to, just really good rock music. So easy pick.
I had Ghost down for you, obviously.
I had Ghost down for you too.
Yeah. Oh, you had U2 as well?
No, that's
good.
Oh, I've got to get one in.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah, Ghost. I'm. I don't know. I don't mind some of Ghost, but some of it I feel is a bit meh for me, really. I mean, the fact that you say they're all in masks is a bit of a put off for me. I mean, like Kiss with the painted face, similar thing.
But it's a deliberate part of the thing. That's why they did it that way. I just think it's clever. But Tobias Forge is a great marketeer. He's basically a marketeer who's done rock music.
All right, okay. Jeff,
should we stay in Sweden?
Go on then. Oh, I will as well then, shall
I? Okay. This guy wrote the 2014 World Cup theme with Carlos Santana and Wycliffe Jean. He co-wrote Sky Full of Stars with Chris Martin. Coldplay, yeah. His first single, I think it was his first single, was the 2013 quickest selling single in the UK, fastest selling single, with 267,000 sold in the first week. And brilliant as it is, which it is, I have also heard it played on the bagpipes. I've also heard it played in bluegrass versions, and they are all fantastic. Was born in 1989.
Youngster.
And died in 2018. Avicii.
Ah, yes.
Talented. Very talented. Very talented young man. I really like a song called The Knights. N-I-T, not K-N-I-T. Because although he's a dancey chappy, whatever, he writes really good lyrics. The lyrics have a meaning to them, which is
Yeah.
relatively unusual in that sort of situation. And most of his, I mean, I don't know a lot of his songs, but most of his songs are anthemic in style.
Yeah.
So like they've got a pulse to them that is anthemic, not just dancey. So I think he's a loss. I think it's a shame that he did what he did. Um, but yeah, there you go. I offer you Avicii.
And fair enough, yeah. Good shout. And you say about the anthemic quality of the songs, sing-along quality. "Wake Me Up" being a good
Well,
example.
that's the one I was talking about. So "Wake Me
Yeah,
Up," which was done by
Wake Me
Ala
Up.
Blanc,
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
was the fastest selling single. And like literally, I've heard it on bagpipes. I've heard it by a bluegrass band. It's just a great song that works in so many different ways.
I've
Yeah,
never heard the
agreed.
word bagpipes and fantastic used in the same
No,
sentence.
well,
To be fair.
AC/DC.
You're a big bagpipes fan, I can tell.
it's no, I'm not, but it's on YouTube. Have a watch of it.
Oh, okay.
It's worth a watch.
Avicii. All right. Now, okay, I'm going to stick with Sweden, a band that neither of you would have picked down for me to pick. Not because you thought, oh, he's not going to like them. It's because you might not have ever heard of them. I don't know. I picked up on them. My brother tipped me off about them a few months back, and I played some on the wireless on the radio show, and I think I will do tomorrow as well. They are a Swedish pub rock band. Ah.
You played one of these a couple of days ago, didn't you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you did.
I
I'm
could
trying
well
to think
do.
who it is, but yeah, you played one.
Yeah, when you read they're citing influences as Dr. Feelgood, Eddie and the Hot Rods, Status Quo. They got to be good as far as I'm concerned. Some great covers they've done. As far as I can make out, they've only had one album in 2018, one more before we go. But they've had 3 singles out this year already, all covers. Starry Eyes, which is a single by the Records from, I think they were from Southend or Basildon, actually. The Kurzweil Flyers turned into them, I think. And then Girl of My Dreams, which is a Bram Tchaikovsky song. And then came out on the 29th of August just recently, a version of Teenage Letter, an old classic rock and roll tune. But other songs they've done, Hard Driving Man. There's one that sounds so Quo called If Only Mother. And they did a cover of In My Chair as well. They've done Peter Gunn. Somebody's going to get their head kicked in tonight. Maybe I played that one. And I'm a Believer, the Monkees song, 20 yards behind Dr. Feelgood. The band are called Helicoptern, which I believe must be Swedish for helicopter. I'm
Sounds as
guessing.
though it might be. It's a reasonable guess.
That's what I'm thinking anyway. So that's what I've gone for. They're Swedish, and I love them. So I've included them. Next.
Yeah, right.
Excellent.
Okay. So I've just got 2 countries left. So I'll do one of them. And I'm going with Ukraine.
Oh.
And I'm going with the two most famous bands from there are Okean LZ. I don't know how that's pronounced, but I think it's basically the ocean or something. And obviously Hard Kiss. So I'm going to choose Hard Kiss. Formed in 2011 by Yulia Sanina and Valery Bebko and Klim Lisiuk and Yevan Kibeliev. Bebko is the guitarist, and he was being interviewed by Yulia Sanina for a university magazine when she was a journalism student. And he basically what happened was he said, "Do you want to be in a band?" She said yes, and then she was, and then they got married.
That easy.
Yeah, that easy. I wish it was that easy to get married to someone as beautiful as Yulia Sanina. But anyway, they sing in Ukrainian and English. They were the 2012 MTV Europe Best Ukrainian Act. 4 studio albums, 1 EP, 1 live album, and multiple singles, which aren't on all of the albums. Since 2022, when the war started, or sorry, not when the invasion started, they've donated loads of money to humanitarian aid, and they've done loads of charity gigs, rightly so. The 2011, they opened for Hertz. You know those, the English synth pop duo. So they opened for them.
Oh yeah, I know. As in, not in Hertz, as in the car rental company, or
No,
whatever.
Hertz,
I
H-U-R,
mean Hertz, as in the
H-U-R-T-S.
verb.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
to
So
Hertz.
they
I know
opened for Hertz when Hertz were playing Kiev. They were their support act. And then they brought out an album, Stones and Honey, and then an EP called Cold Altair, which is where that song that you've played for me a load of times. 2016, with the song Helpless, they were runners up for Ukraine's Eurovision Song Contest entry. They've got 23 English language singles and 20 Ukrainian language singles. So in a relatively short space of time, they've racked up an awful lot of body of work. They do brilliant videos. So if you watch them on YouTube, some the video element of their music is a really important part. So things like Korabli, which again, that's the English pronunciation of whatever the Ukrainian is all shot in the shipyards in Odessa, and it's really clever. So they're worth watching, and I mean they write good pop rock songs, and they've got a load of stuff on YouTube, which is very listenable. So Hard Kiss, Ukraine.
I had them down as one of yours. There's another band from Ukraine I thought you might mention, and that was I think a 4-piece, all girls, obviously, called the Sixters.
No, the Sixters are a 5-piece, and they are all girls.
They are Ukrainian.
Yes, they are. They're based in Germany. Okay. They're based in Germany, but they're kids.
I got the name right.
Yeah, and they're a really good pub rock, punk rock type band.
Okay, Hard Kiss for you, Jeff.
Do you know something? I just realised I haven't included the Baseballs. Could have done that, couldn't I? You know, the rockabilly cover band. They're German.
Oh right.
Forgot about that. Anyway, there we go. No, it's fine. Moving on. I've got to be honest. I had to look up whether this country was actually in Europe or not, but it is. Well, I thought it was. I thought it was, but I just had to double check. So this lot are from Iceland.
Oh right, okay.
Okay.
Right. Iceland. Yes, I should have thought about Iceland.
Formed in 1977. They're an instrumental jazz pop rock fusion. They are smooth style jazz, in the same way as Spyro Gyra were, that kind of sort of thing, you know. They've got 12 albums, most of which I can't pronounce the names of because I can't read Icelandic. Their fourth album, however, is not called Untitled. It's just called 4. And it's the only one of their albums to get into the UK charts. They had one big hit in 1979 off the self-titled album, which got to number 17 in the UK. And their name, this give it away. Their name literally means moderately loud in musical terms.
Oh, moderately loud would be something Italian, Latin sounding.
Something forte.
Oh yes. Yes, something forte, definitely. But what is
Mezzo forte.
Mezzo forte.
There you have it.
Yeah.
So Mezzo forte. Garden Party was their big hit, which I think you've played for me before, Carl.
I think I have, yeah.
They're just a smooth soul, a smooth jazz band. They're still playing. They're still going. And they still do what they do. Are you about to say something important, Pete?
No, I was just going to ask, are Sigur Rós from Iceland?
I've never heard of them.
I think they are, actually.
Because Nick and some of my kids are massive Sigur Rós fans. Yeah, I think they are. Anyway, I hadn't thought about Iceland at all.
Icelandic post-rock band. When you said Iceland, I was thinking of Bjork, actually.
I've got her as one of yours, interestingly.
For me?
Yeah, I thought you might choose Bjork.
No, a bit out there for me.
Bjork has got a minster, and a racecourse, and city walls.
No, that's York.
That's York. Yeah. There's also a nice shop selling some really superb milkshakes. I remember walking around York one time in the
There's
past.
a railway museum with half a railway, just with half an engine cut completely with
Yeah,
glass.
there is.
Anyway,
And
there you go. Mezzo
the whole place is a shambles. Anyway, right.
All right. Okay, I'm going to be very quick then, because we don't have a lot of time, and I'll let you two rabbit on a little bit about yours. One I mentioned last week anyway. Again from Ireland, actually, it's the Thrills, because Let's Bottle Bohemia was one of my L albums last week, and I had to include them in there. And I don't think I need to say much more about them. I wondered about the Pogues, actually, because technically they could be considered Irish, but
I looked at the Pogues, and I looked at Van Morrison, and then realised that Van Morrison was Northern Ireland.
Yeah, Northern Ireland for Van Morrison.
And the Pogues are London Irish.
They are Irish, though. They call them Irish, no?
No, they're London.
No,
He came from London.
Yeah.
A Celtic punk band, anyway.
That's stretching things a bit far.
I can't have the Pogues. All right, then. I'll put one more in then. And it is a folk singer-songwriter. I struggled, as I said at the start, with a lot of these, and I've certainly got the first 2 albums this guy had. I think he's only had 3. Folk singer, songwriter from Selbridge, or is it Kelbridge, in Ireland. Debut album was O, the letter O, and it made number 8 in the UK charts. 3 top 30 singles from it: Blower's Daughter and Volcano, both making the top 30. And the biggest hit that he's had was Cannonball.
What era? What dates?
2000. Sorry, yeah, noughties. He started. The album. I'll tell you when the album was. Well, the second album was 2006. So I'm thinking 2003.
Is this Tom O'Dell?
It's not Tom O'Dell. He's English, I think, from Chichester. No, it's Damien Rice.
No, he plays for Arsenal.
Yeah.
No, he's a social worker.
Also, wasn't he their right back as well, wasn't he, in the 70s?
Yeah.
Pat Rice. No, Damien Rice. So, something that I thought, Sticky Pete might like this guy, actually. It is very folky. The second album was called 9. The first album was Pulitzer Prize winner. Music Prize, is it? Something. It won some award anyway. So it's pretty decent. Very good.
Prize is for journalism, but you were close.
Yes, it's not a Pulitzer Prize.
No.
And there's a track on 2006's album 9, which is called Coconut Skins, which I do know because Number One Son, and it's easy for me. Number One Son, it's easy for me. Number 1 and 2. It's not quite as easy for you as thinks, I know. But Number 1 is the first one, because he's got this tattooed on his arm, this lyric, and it's "Time is contagious. Everybody's getting old."
Everyone is, yeah.
And that's from Coconut Skins. He did have an album in third album, still performing, and he was performing in Valencia, in fact, in 2023 at a gig when someone shouted out that Sinead O'Connor, although you haven't included Sinead O'Connor because you haven't gone Irish anyway, but she's had a couple of mentions anyway, so fair play. Someone shouted out that she had died, so after taking a moment to process the news, he then played Nothing Compares to You as a tribute to her. Damien Rice.
Not Damien, the social worker. Right.
No.
Okay. Well, I'm
Damien Delboy's son, wasn't it, Damien?
Yes, he was. Yeah.
The evil Damien.
His head's
Go on then. Your last one. Oh, yeah, finish. Is it finish?
I'm going to finish in Finland. Yes.
Yes. Appropriately at the end.
So you've
Can we guess?
Finns. No, well, okay. Yes, I'm going to go for the obvious one, but there's a couple of things to say first. Okay, so they've got a brilliant prog rock band called the Von Herzen Brothers, who you've played Flowers and Rust for me a few times, and I saw them live supporting Yes at the Royal Albert Hall. They were very good. They've got Apocalyptica, who are they play all classical instruments and are very, very good. They've got this lunatic band called Battle Beast. And of course, there's Darude, who did write the greatest dance anthem of all time in Sandstorm, which why wouldn't you like it? Now, before I talk about Nightwish, who I'm obviously going to talk about, which was the first Finnish band to chart in the UK? And I didn't even know they were Finnish, and I didn't know the singer was Finnish because he looks very not Finnish, and I thought he was American or English.
What year was the single then? Do we know that?
Would have been in the 70s. Or late 70s, early 80s. I'm not quite sure when.
No, I don't know. Can't think. Unless you got an idea, Jeff.
No.
The band is Hanoi Rocks, and the lead singer is Michael Monroe. And I had no idea that they were Finnish. But apparently
they had a big album, didn't they, Hanoi Rocks?
Yeah, the massive album, which was the one that charted, and then the single off it, whatever it was, charted.
Self-titled?
It might. Yes, I think it was self-titled. Yeah, I think it was Hanoi. Anyway, doesn't matter. So yes, I've chosen Nightwish very boringly, but I can't not talk about my current favouriteest band in the whole world that aren't the bands that I've loved forever.
Right, over to you then, Jeff.
Yeah, go.
Okay. Right.
No,
this is a French guy. Over 1,000 songs to his name. Between 74 and 2016, he has 60 gold and platinum records across the world. He has a star on Hollywood Walk of Fame. He had a state funeral at which Macron delivered the eulogy. And when Bob Dylan was asked who his favourite artist was, he said, "This guy, I like him a lot."
Jack Brel.
When he was a teenager, he had paralysed vocal cords, which left him with a rasp in his voice. 1924 to 2018.
Serge.
No.
Stink suggested Jack Brel.
No.
He's Belgian. Is this guy French, you say?
He
is Belgian, but he had his career in France.
Oh, okay. Sacha Distel. Who else is there?
His biggest hit in this country was...
Charles.
There we go.
Charles has the voice.
Yes, because
Charles has the voice.
Paralysed.
So there you go. No more to say. His career stands on its own, I think.
It does.
And She is a great song that he wrote.
It is a great song. And we will choose it for tomorrow, will we not?
Well, it's up to you. Yeah, choose me. Let me know. So, Stinky Pete, do you want to say something about Nightwish?
Only that
I humorously interrupted you, but
only they, they started in '96, and they kind of had a few things which made them successful in Finland. Angels Fall First was a big hit at home. They had wider success in '98 with Oceanborn, 2000 with Wishmaster, and 2002 with Century Child. But the album Once, which was released in 2004, sold 1 million copies. It was a US breakthrough. They had a US hit single with Wish I Had an Angel. The band was started by Tuomas Holopainen. He's referred to as Metal Mozart. He's an absolutely brilliant songwriter, lyricist. I mean, the guy can do everything. In 2005, Tarja, the girl who started, was fired. They recruited Annette Olsen. The sixth album, Dark Passion Play, the lead single off that was Amaranth, which you played the other day. That sold 2 million copies. Then they released Imaginarium in 2011. Olsen got fired in October 2012, and Floor Jansen took over halfway through the tour. And they had a session musician, Troy Donockley, who also joined in 2013. Some of the original members left. The original drummer had really bad insomnia, and he couldn't cope with playing and touring anymore. He was replaced by Kai Hatto. They're the third best-selling band / musical entity in Finnish history, with 900,000 certified sales in Finland. But they've sold 10 million albums worldwide, 60 gold and platinum awards, 6 #1 albums, 13 #1 singles. So whether you like them or not, you can't argue with their success. And the 8th album, Endless Forms Most Beautiful, has one of their 2 great classic songs on it. Human Nature, you played a lot of stuff, and Yesterwind, which came out at the beginning of the year, which we've also played some stuff off, and that's album number 10. So I could not talk about European music without talking about my favourite Finns.
Colin, you didn't include Aha.
No, I've just got a few lists of notable ones that Aha, I've probably got a couple of albums by it, actually. So they were decent. You've met the guy, haven't you, Morten Harkett? Stinks, was it?
Well, I was in the bar of the Holiday Inn in Birmingham with Morten Harkett, the whole band, and all of their groupies on one massively alcoholic night whilst I was allegedly working for TNT. That was a fun night. They were nice guys, and the groupies were very pretty, as I recall, in my vaguely drunken stupor.
Fair enough. That's all that matters. I've got of Monsters and Men from Sweden. I've got the Hives from Sweden, the Cardigans from Sweden. A lot of these artists I like a lot by. I wouldn't put them in my tops. Who can forget Pussycat having a big #1 with Mississippi? One of your favourites, isn't it?
Yeah, great song.
And of course, Sinead, the Cause, the Codaline, and the Script. And what else? Shocking Blue. Do you remember their #1 hit in the States? It was Venus in the early 70s from Dutchland. Not Deutschland, but Dutchland, so Holland. And, well, I suppose, given we including Ireland, or we should have been, well, I certainly did, and I didn't mention them in any of mine, of course, surely they should get a mention for the number of sales they've had, at least. There are 2 top boy bands in Ireland, but maybe Westlife should get a shout.
And Boyzone being the other.
Well, and Boyzone, but I think Westlife were bigger, weren't they?
Yeah, but much bigger.
Arguably better as well. I don't know. Who knows? But yes, that's it. Thank you very much. So yeah, it's been enthralling as usual. Thank you very much, Stinks, for all your research there. You dug deep. This is what we like.
Pete. You did well.
He did, didn't he? He took centre stage today with his country-wide trip around Europe, didn't he?
I've got to be honest, I'm going to have El's own job picking songs for the show tomorrow and Friday. You might have to hang on for half an hour while I'm working out which ones will actually fit in.
Oh, okay. Well, give us a bunch for tomorrow and Friday. And same with you, Jeff. But in the meantime, thanks very much, guys. And we'll be back next week, or 2 of us will be at least, we think. We will be posting this, or Shaggy will be posting this to the usual places over the weekend or before. And one day, despite our willy chats today,
no, we've got no chance. We are dead.
No chance.
We're dead in the Broadcasting Corporation water.
Being on
we will not be on the BBC.
We will not be on the BBC. All right. We better get out quick then. So it's a good night from me.
It's a good night from him.
It's a good night from both of them.